Recently, the disposable camera look has gotten really popular, but if you don't want to be carrying around a disposable camera or slapping a filter on your picture and you want it straight out of camera, then you need to check out this disposable camera lens for your camera. It's been specially modified from a disposable camera lens to fit your camera. Now this lens is not from the popular Dispo lens that you've probably seen on Instagram. This is just one that I went on Amazon, found, ordered, and have been testing out. It's 30 bucks, so it's not that expensive. It's buying like 3 coffees, or some places it feels like it's like the cost of 2 coffees. Anyways, that's beside the point. But it's not that expensive. The build quality is basically plastic. I think it's probably 3D printed with the disposable camera lens right in the middle. So it's a very, very basic build, and it's so thin. It would be considered a pancake lens, but it's so thin that when it's on your camera, it feels like a lens cap. I mean, it's just so thin, so tiny, which is why I like it too. For my digital camera, I can keep it on. So my Canon R is what I use it on. I'll just have it to my side. And because the lens is basically non-existent, it's so thin that it's just easy, it's small, it fits right in my bag, really, really easy. So of course, the whole point of this lens is the image quality, and I find it to have a very, very similar look to a disposable camera lens. It has a bit of a natural sort of violet hue around the corners. Sometimes it's a little bit strong, but it's nothing you can't just correct a little bit in post. It has a little bit of blur. It's an infinite focus, so you're not ever having to worry about focusing the lens. So that's something that's really nice, is you just kind of point and shoot. Now, the f-stop on this lens is probably like an f12, and obviously because it's a fixed lens, you can't change the f-stop. The only thing you can change to adjust the brightness is your shutter speed or your ISO. So you just have to make sure that whatever you're shooting, there's plenty of light coming in, and if you're shooting in the dark, it's a little bit tricky. You just have to boost your ISO. That being said, something that I did notice when using this lens, I was in Europe recently and I took a bunch of photos using this lens, is when I would have to boost the ISO, it kind of gave it a little bit of a natural sort of film look, which was kind of cool. And I didn't really find it to like break down the image or make it look too bad. I tried to make sure I was exposing the camera as much as possible for wherever I was shooting, to basically cut down on the amount of editing. I wanted it to be as natural, look as much like a disposable camera as possible. Now, a tip with this lens, if you're trying to achieve that disposable camera look, is don't put your shutter speed any more over than 1/100. Obviously, you might have to adjust for brightness, I get that, but disposable camera shutter speed is around 1/100. So if that way it's not going to be too sharp like a digital camera. You might even get a little motion blur as you would with a disposable camera. So overall, I find this lens to be a really, really great option for 30 bucks to give a nice, fun, vintage look. It's easy. You don't ever have to worry about focusing the lens. You just point, shoot, as long as you're exposed correctly. It's a fun way to make your memories and your moments, time with friends, family, look nostalgic and kind of have a vintage feel to it. It kind of, I don't know what it is about it, but it sort of forces that memory into this photo that just feels like it's got more stories to tell, a little more nostalgia with it. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. The link for that lens is in the description below. If you found anything helpful in this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Appreciate it. Thank you to all the new followers. There's lots of new content coming. And that being said, I'll see you in the next video.